Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Together, we are Backyard Musings, the Science and Technology channel.
Yeah, and we're talking about an old critter today. Reptiles and rodents are bad enough, but when they start to fly, that just takes the cake, man. So here we go.
These little guys, like I was telling Scott, are about the size of your hand. You can see 2 centimeters. They're like bats. They're really tiny guys.
Yeah, and they fly.
And they fly. All right, let me see. I got to get over
Or they did.
University of Leicester paleontologists have uncovered the long-hidden cause of death for 2 baby pterosaurs, solving a mystery that has waited 150 million years for an explanation. Published in Current Biology on October 6, 2025, the research reveals the young flying reptiles were killed by intense storms. Those same storms created the perfect conditions to preserve their remains along with hundreds of other fossils found in the region. Would you like to know more?
Okay, just a word butchering notification. So the Mesozoic era, often called the Age of Reptiles, is commonly pictured as a world dominated by enormous creatures. Museum exhibits and popular imagery feature giant dinosaurs, massive marine predators, and pterosaurs with enormous wingspans. So a pterosaur, is that like a pterodactyl? This thing almost looked like a pterodactyl.
Similar to a pterodactyl.
Yeah, only a lot smaller.
Yeah.
In reality, ancient ecosystems resembled modern ones in at least one feature, or at least one important way. Most animals were small. The problem is that fossilization tends to favor large, sturdy organisms, and the bones of tiny, delicate animals rarely survive long enough to enter the geological era. So that's cool that these were preserved.
Even so, certain environments occasionally preserve these fragile species in remarkable detail. One of the best known examples is the 150 million year old Solnhofen limestones in southern Germany. These lagunal deposits are famous for their exceptional fossils, including numerous pterosaurs.
Yet a puzzling pattern emerges. Solnhofen contains hundreds of pterosaur fossils, but nearly all of them are very small and very young. Fully grown individuals are exceedingly rare, and when they do appear, they are usually represented by only by scattered skull pieces or limb fragments. Excuse me. This is the opposite of what scientists would expect, since larger and more robust animals usually fossilized more easily than tiny juveniles.
Lead author Rab Smythe from the University of Leicester's Center for Paleobiology and Biosphere Evolution, and funded by the National Environment Research Council through the CENTA Doctoral Training Partnership, highlighted the challenge. Quote, pterosaurs hold incredibly lightweight skeletons. Hollow, thin-walled bones are ideal for flight, but terrible for fossilization. The odds of preserving one are already slim, and finding a fossil that tells you how the animal died is even rarer.
Rab said pterosaurs had incredibly lightweight skeletons. Hollow, thin-walled bones are ideal for flight, but terrible for fossilization. The odds of preserving one are already slim, and finding a fossil that tells you how the animal died is even rarer.
Yeah.
Unquote.
The discovery of 2 infant pterosaurs with damaged wings offers a key piece of evidence that helps resolve this long-standing puzzle. Although small enough to miss at first glance, the fossils provide striking support for the idea that ancient tropical storms played a major role in shaping which animals were preserved.
The researchers informally named the pair Lucky and Lucky 2. How original. Both belong to Pterodactylus, the first pterosaur species ever given a scientific name. Each hatchling had a wingspan of less than 20 centimeters or 8 inches. That's pretty small, placing them among the tiniest pterosaurs known from the fossil record. Their skeletons are complete, cool, still connected bone by bone, and remain almost exactly as they were at the moment of death. That is remarkable.
Yeah, it is. There is, however, a crucial detail. Each fossil shows the same distinctive break, a clean angle fracture in the humerus. And I think we got a picture of this. Yeah, so it's showing that fossil break. And you can see a size comparison of the rodent right there.
Yeah.
Looks
like a mouse, or I don't think it's a rat. It looks like a mouse.
Lucky's injury occurred in the left wing and Lucky 2's in the right wing. The pattern indicates that the wings were twisted with significant force, a type of trauma more consistent with violent gusts of wind than with impact against a solid surface.
Hey, so you were just at the La Brea tar pits just a few days ago.
I was.
Have any of these things been spotted in that facility?
Well, they've got vultures. They're vultures. Plenty of skeletons of vultures.
Flying animals, or flying birds, or whatever, dinosaurs, or whatever.
Yeah. So that
cool.
they would, let's say a mastodon would get caught in the goo, can't get out. So you get these dire wolves, or you get a saber-toothed tiger, or even a vulture would swoop in to try and start pecking and getting some of the meat, and then and then their foot would get in the slime and they can't get away, and then suddenly they just get buried in this tar.
They would be overcome by their eating, right?
Yeah.
Okay, catastrophically injured, the pterosaurs plunged into the surface of the lagoon, drowning in the storm-driven waves and quickly sinking to the seabed, where they were rapidly buried by very fine limy muds stirred up by the death storms. This rapid burial allowed for the remarkable preservation seen in their fossils. Huh.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like Lucky 1 and 2, which were only a few days or weeks old when they died, there are many other small, very young pterosaurs in the Solnhofen limestones preserved in the same way as the Luckies, but without obvious evidence of skeletal trauma. Unable to resist the strength of storms, these young pterosaurs were also flung into the lagoon. The discovery explains why smaller fossils are so well preserved. They were a direct result of storms, a common cause of death for pterosaurs that lived in the region.
Larger, stronger individuals, it seems, were able to weather the storms and rarely followed the Lucky's stormy road to death. They did eventually die, though, but likely floated for days or weeks on the now calm surface of the Solnhofen Lagoon. Do we have, or you got an artist rendition there, but we don't really have a picture of this thing, do we?
The lagoon, no.
Yeah. Okay.
It's southern Germany. I think it's southern Germany.
Yeah, sounds kind of cool. Occasionally dropping parts of their carcasses into the abyss as they slowly decomposed.
Quote, For centuries, scientists believed that the Solnhofen Lagoon ecosystems were dominated by small pterosaurs, said Smith. But we now know this view is deeply biased. Many of these pterosaurs weren't native to the lagoon at all. Most are inexperienced juveniles that were likely living on nearby islands that were unfortunately caught up in the powerful storms.
Gotcha. Co-author Dr. David Unwin from the University of Leicester added, quote, when Rab spotted Lucky, we were very excited, but realized that it was a one-off. Was it representative in any way? A year later, when Rab noticed Lucky 2, we knew that we was no longer a freak find, but evidence of how these animals were dying. Later still, when we had a chance to light up Lucky 2 with our UV torches, it literally leapt out of the rock at us, and our hearts stopped. Neither of us will ever forget that moment. Wow. Very exciting.
So the British word torch is our word for flashlight.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that it would just, when you shine that UV flashlight on it, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Nice. Interesting. So I definitely learned that.
Fascinating.
So torches are the English word for a flashlight. Blimey. Okay.
Yeah. You can find that on Harry Potter. They say that on Harry Potter.
Okay. Well, it must be fact.
Well, you learned something today, folks.
I did. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you in the morning.
All right. Well, take care, everyone. Have a good night.